People of the internet, welcome back. This is City Skylines 2 with me, Emory, and the city of Ringholm. This is, of course, our new Chinatown district where we left off in the previous episode, and I think we had a good start. We built these two great areas with a new subway station and a shrine right in front of that. So today we'll continue in the same style, of course. We will probably add another subway station and hopefully get some nice new residential in the area as well. If we can, it would also be nice to add a school, a high school, or a college, of course, depending on what suits the area best. And possibly also another shrine-like building. So let's get started. We'll continue where we left off. We built a couple of single family homes, and I do want to build more of them. So let's just build a couple next to the others with the nice waterfront views. We'll give them a little room like this and connect this one. I think it needs a bit of leveling up. It's okay, but let's get it a bit more level. So let's lower this one. And I think that looks absolutely nice. We have extended the subway tracks and given the area an access road. We'll do another alleyway coming across here like this, so we can put houses on both sides. I do think though we need to extend the land area so we can fit houses comfortably on both sides. So let's do that. We don't need much space. We'll use the narrow houses for this. Then we're gonna move these pathways. I think that should be enough space actually. The narrow houses will fit there quite fine. And we'll just remove the land area, of course, next to the water. We put down the first couple of houses, and I do think it looks very nice. And with some detailing, it's gonna look even better. I think though we need to get some access down towards the waterfront paths. To do so, we'll add some visible paths. But let's start by adding some surfaces down first. We'll have one coming down from the alleyway going right next to the house like this. Doesn't need to be big. It's just gonna be something like this. And for the alleyway itself, we'll continue with these red clay pavers. So let's see if we can get this down. There is a little bit of a bug, I think, right now. When you put down any surface like this underneath some rail tracks, or in this case subway tracks, you'll see later it kind of shines through when you pan over it from above. That's a little bit annoying, so I might change that later because again, when you look at it from a certain angle, it just shines through and I'm not sure why. Let's try to connect this one as good as possible. There we are. I think that looks good enough. And again, with some detailing, it's gonna look. And as you can see, it kind of shines through, and here it shines through a lot, and it's quite annoying. You can also see the same on the other track right here. It's not on the track itself, as you see now, but when looking from above, and especially annoying with this red one here because it's, yeah, let's just remove that for the time being. So I'm trying to change the color of these flower pots right here. I'm not able to do so, so I'm thinking I'm doing something wrong maybe. Anyway, we've added some greenery to this area and look, already it's looking a lot better, I have to say. I'm not sure how big this area will be yet because we haven't extended the subway tracks completely. So for the moment, we'll leave this area be. And if you remember the Newport station, we did just put storefronts, fake storefronts on the front of the building. So I have a plan for the new station, and that is just to put real stores in it. And as long as they do not poke out the back, this might actually work. And this is the end result. It looks absolutely amazing, I have to say. And as long as we can get some invisible paths in and the station works, which we'll check later when we get the trains in, this is a sure win for me. And they do not poke out in the back. Finally, I found some residential buildings that I think would fit this area well, and these are the ones from, I think, the Northeast American pack. And with the recolor mode, they blend in very well, and I do like the greenery on the ceilings as well. So fingers crossed, we should possibly be able to get 50-50 in terms of residential commercial. Let's build some more of these residential buildings. Let's merge them together. As you know, I do not mind if buildings are merged together as long as it looks good. That is the main objective here. And it's going to add a lot more residential to Chinatown, which is awesome. So let's just recolor these last couple of buildings before we take a look on the progress so far. And as you can see, I think this area looks absolutely amazing. And the new residential buildings doesn't really detract much from the overall Chinese style that goes around the residential quarters. So I'm quite happy with that indeed. And let's take a look. We currently have 1,062 residents and 1,056 jobs. So we have done a very good job with balancing that out. The fact that the new residential buildings have some greenery on top is really appealing to me, but let's add some greenery of our own. That's going to be quite some tall trees because they need to reach the sunlight in these narrow streets. So we'll do some palms, maybe some pines. Let's see what we can come up with. And for these small, strange angled areas where we can't really fit any buildings, we're just gonna fence them off and do some small gardens instead. Again, we'll continue with this nice fencing that we did before. And for the entrance of the alleyway here, I'm thinking again, let's use the Chinese gates, having a bit of difficulty placing it down as usual, but we'll just place it here and use move it to move it in the correct position. And let's see, try not to clip the palm tree. There we are. It looks good, but I think we'll change the color to match the other ones. We can do green. And that's actually excellent. So let's put these gates on all the entrances of the alleys. I mean, you can't argue with that. That looks absolutely amazing. And the residents living here is going to be really happy because they're going to have great park access if we especially put these gates on all alleyways. And I do think that it's finally time to expand the subway tracks to the north side of Chinatown. And I'm actually thinking that there will be water between the bridge, this road here that comes out from the bridge, and the train tracks themselves. So let's build some queueways or add some queueways to the existing roads so we can do that. So I do want the North Station to be placed right here on the right side. And I think that I would prefer it to be on a slight angle. So let's see if we can find a nice angle that is not a slight angle, that is actually quite a steep angle. So let's continue looking. With the correct angle built, we're just gonna build a station next to it. And this actually looks to be a very good spot for it. I do like the angle. So let's just put it down right here. Let's see if we need to move it a little bit. I do think we do. That is correct. So let's move it slightly. We also have to make sure if we're going to build the station in as we've done with the previous station, we do not want that much of an overhang over the sidewalk or pavement. Otherwise, it's going to look a bit strange. But I think this should be good enough. So let's connect this to the rest of the tracks. And the tracks are now completed, which means that we can finally finish off the small residential area that we have here along the water edge. So let's do that. Getting a little bit sidetracked as usual. I just wanted to finish the canal there, and I think it looks good. And especially with the station at a little bit angle like that. But now we'll continue finally with the residential area here. We'll just copy the existing buildings and place them next to each other. Something nice with the Chinese and especially the Dragon Gate pack is there is so much going on with the buildings themselves. So if you kind of copy them next to each other like this and then add a little bit of detail, it doesn't look like it's all being copy pasted. It doesn't look like it's all just the same thing, and that's I think it's mostly done to the fact that there is so much going on. And in between these bushes here, I'm thinking we should add a nice surface. Maybe, I don't know, some kind of grass? No. Maybe just a sandy grass patch. Let's go for that one. Let's put it in between the bushes like this and try to connect. Yeah, yeah, that is decent. That is actually decent. I'm quite happy with this area so far. It looks okay. We are pretty much done. Some decoration might be needed, but we'll just put down some invisible paths here and then fix the alleyway itself. I'm just imagining buying a house here close to the waterfront has to be crazy expensive. Anyway, what should we do with this green patch here alongside the tracks? We could do a park. A small, nice park would look good, but this area is very cramped. So maybe we should get some more houses in, if we can. It was a bit difficult to find buildings that would fit under the train tracks, but in the end we've got there, and I think that this fits the area a little bit better than a park would have done, so I'm quite happy with the results. So down in this corner area right here, I want to place another shrine-like building. We could go for the Chinese one. That looks, it looks actually very good, but it's too big, I think. I want something a little bit smaller. Then this building here actually fits my plans a little bit better. So let's put this one down. It's not Chinese though. This is actually from South Korea. So I'm guessing in this Chinatown, we are not only going to have Chinese people, we are also going to have people from South Korea and probably from a lot of other places around Asia. As you can see, we have pretty much surrounded Chinatown with water at this point. There is only a small strip of land underneath the northern subway station that does not have any water underneath it. But of course, we can imagine that there is a tunnel under there so water can flow through. We've also built this nice curved waterfront pathway that's going to be aligned with some trees in the future. But for now, let's just continue with the expansion. We've built out the tramway passing the first subway station and the shrine. And at the moment, I think we'll actually split it right here. So we'll choose a one-way coming up right here. If we can get a nice angle, hopefully. Let's just check. Yeah, everything is as it should be. There we go. And then it's going to come up here and we're going to have a stop just outside the Norden station here, just to have it curve back at itself, continuing around the historical gate, and then backtrack on itself. The outline of the tram track is done. The passengers is going to have a great view of the gate when going around there. But now we can continue with more buildings. As you might be able to see, the pedestrians are actually using the tram tracks here to cut across. I'm not a big fan of that, so let's try to put down some paths to try to entice those people to use the paths instead. I think that it's time to look at some services. Let's check fire. We have only one fire station, I believe, and it's in Old Town. So let's place another one down here that will service Chinatown only. And I like this one that is from the North European pack, North American pack. It's small. You can easily fit it in any gap. Maybe we could just remove this house right here, place it in between like that. Move it. Can we change the color? Oh, no, we can't. Well, it will do fine either way. So now we have Chinatown covered. It's important to have a good fire protection or fire coverage, especially when placing houses down manually like I do, because when they burn, and if the fire trucks are not able to get to them and they burn to the ground, they will not rebuild. So you have to delete and rebuild the house yourself. So that is quite a pain. So make sure if you place many houses by yourself, like I do, to make sure that you place them down. Um, Police coverage is the next thing, and you can see it's not good at all. So we might actually need to put down a larger station or, let's see. The only police station that we have is this one, 6 out of 6 cars. Let's upgrade this one so we can double the capacity. That's excellent. So that will help some. I'm thinking we should build a police station in Chinatown again, focusing primarily on Chinatown. Let's see if we can find something nice. I'm thinking this one again, a North American one, I think. This one is too big. They're all very, very big. That's why I like the North American ones. They are small. This one looks nice. This one might be something we could build here on the island, in the future, I think. Yeah, let's do that. But for now, let's just put down this small one right here. And with that, I think it's time to wrap this show up for today. We've done fairly well. We have actually doubled the size. Well, we've more than doubled the size of Chinatown. We've added residential for family homes up there near the waterfront towards the bridge. We've also added a lot more residential apartment style throughout the area, which is really excellent. If we look down here, we can also see that we've added some nice decoration alongside the highway and added a new subway station to the left there, and of course this beautiful gateway right here. Of course, much more is needed when it comes to decoration. We'll also add some schools in the district, but that's something for the next episode. As always, if you like this episode, please give it a like, subscribe, or just a comment, whatever you want to do. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.